Alright, stream should be up and running. We're doing the briefing more or less right now. Okay, so Tinian. Yeah, it's at that resort and it is in a weird spot. Put it not out off the pier at all. There is a boat there. So we do
I think
have
that's
a boat.
probably why I put it there.
We should have put it off the pier though. I wonder why we picked that spot. We'll find out.
Yep. We can always adjust it, but if we do, we're going to have to redo all the kneeboardy stuff.
The blue jets are set up
There's
in a
Tinian
good spot.
field.
Okay.
Actually, going to take a peek at that.
Client.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah, they're set up correctly. The jets are.
Good.
So I'm going to check the date. The date is good. We don't need to do dynamic aircraft, so I think we should be more or less good to go then. Because we have aircraft at Tinian.
Oh, I know why I put the center point there, is because it lined up with that breakwater.
Oh yeah, so it makes it easier for it to ingress.
Because that'd be easier to parallel than to like use the pier as.
Yeah, no, you're right.
As the.
Oh, you know what? I should be showing people this. I don't really have a way to, so they'll just get to see my desktop. Yeah, no, I agree with you. So yeah, that should be fine. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be done in this mission. I don't think so.
If you want to adjust the center point.
No, because we'd have to change the DTC.
That's true. Yeah, maybe move, if we adjust the center point, maybe move the ship back so that it is right off the end of the pier. But still
in line, yeah.
In line with that breakwater.
And we could do that, and then just I could tell you new DTC coordinates.
Yeah, that works. I will actually. That's a good memory or reminder that to actually load DTC.
So we're gonna be watching it probably from a rooftop.
That'll be fun.
In which case, it should be right off the pier.
All right, so do it right off the pier. Just move the ship along that plane of travel. Just make a little line with the line drawer.
Yeah, hang on. I just deleted all of our aircraft, so give me a sec. I don't do this that often.
I wasn't critiquing. I just thought it was funny because the mission
was more for the non-existent viewers. File open. Yes, Mariana shows. Okay. I don't have any aircraft selected. Praise the Lord. So now I can move the boat. Okay, so then I just drag it, right?
Yeah, you can just drag the boat. You might move the waypoint, but we're gonna reset. Anyway.
Waypoint 2. What's waypoint 1? Waypoint 1 is...
Probably...
Oh, yeah, so it's moving the waypoint first. Okay, that's fine.
You can just move it out of the way.
Oh, now waypoint 1's moved. Great. Alright, hang on. Gotta reset again.
Is that actually off the end of it? I can't tell. Weep.
Mission editor. Flippin' heck, man. This stupid... So the least intuitive.
It is quite unintuitive, I agree.
As someone who works in software, I'm sitting here being like, really, guys?
Alright, and then
so step 1 is to move the...
Yeah, it's basically on there.
Are you doing it as well?
I am doing it as well, just because I'm bored.
Okay.
I could just send you what I did, unless you want to do it yourself.
Why don't you just send me what you did? That'll be faster.
Alright, cool.
You're better at this than I am.
While I'm chilling here. Why don't I give you some coordinates?
Let me start up DTC and I will register them.
Alt Y.
I don't know. The mods, current DTC.
There it is. All
I'll
right,
show
cool.
people this because we don't ever show this. So, Blues Marianas, waypoints, Tinian Shore, and which format are you going to give me?
I'm gonna give you precise sectodecimal like we normally
Got it.
do.
Okay, ready.
Let me just make a quick line and adjust my waypoint so that it is exactly. Well, actually, that ship placement's pretty sick. Okay. Right on the mast, right on the flag. Sick. Okay, cool. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Northing 145736.2 East 1453654.21. Altitude is sea level, so whatever that is.
250. So altitude's captured.
Right,
That puts us right over the mast, right?
Yeah, it puts us right over the American flag.
Okay. The only thing I'm going to have to worry about with that is MRT and sneak pass, and I'll do both of those inboard.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, let me save that misfile.
All right, that has been saved.
I'll exit out of there.
I don't
gotta
remember
send
how
this
to
to you.
export this.
You don't worry about it. Just read me the coordinates. I'll put it in myself.
I can actually save it to clipboard. Hang on. Yeah, hang on. I got it. Copy.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll put it in. Yeah, you send me the mis file. I'll send you the waypoint. Put that on your clipboard and paste it into your Blues
How do I
Marianas.
put it on my clipboard?
Just copy it. It's just a JSON.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In case y'all are wondering what that looks like, here is the JSON that gets copied from DTC, which is freaking sweet. Gotta love it when they send us a JSON object. Okay.
Mission Blues.
All right. So then I
Blue shows Marianas.
copy Tinian Shore and replace.
Okay, so I just sent you the Ms file.
Replace Coboletti with.
Copy.
Oh, didn't copy. Hang on. Blues Marianas waypoints Tinian Shore copy. Current waypoints paste.
Tinian Shore, sick. I'm gonna change that to waypoint 1.
So waypoint 1 will replace the field actually because we put the field as waypoint 1 in the mission. So
okay, so should I leave it as waypoint 0 then?
Well, we're not gonna. So did you move the waypoint as well in your mission?
The waypoint number 2?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay. In which case we're not gonna need DTC. So we will need it for radios though. So you're gonna have to either change your upload settings or yeah.
I'll change my upload settings. That's fine. Waypoints are off.
Waypoints are off. All right, cool. So I have Tinian Shore in case we go fly somewhere else with it. Is basically the story. And the Ms file. I'll just plop that in downloads for the moment. And then let's see. Save games, DCS, missions, blues shows. Shows, copy, paste, replace. Done. Just gonna double check it. Mission editor. File. Open. Yes. Mariana shows edited today. Tinian. And look at that. right off the shore. Love it! Exit. I don't need to save it. Because we already did. Okay, cool. Now I will hide my screen again. So I don't DDoS myself. Okay. Multiplayer. New server. Remove ad. Mariana shows okay. Start. Oh, we didn't check whether those are hot jets or not.
They shouldn't be.
Okay.
Most of these MIS files, I did not create them as hot jets.
Wonderful. I appreciate that.
But we'll find out. All right, I'm in.
So you are pausing the server. I haven't flown Marianas in a hot minute, and there's been a couple of like major updates since then.
Me neither. Oh, hey, it shows where we're spawning. Sort of.
Sort of.
Oh no, that's the general location of those spawn spots, and then that's the specific spot where we are spawning.
Correct.
Where you're spawning.
Yes.
Nice.
No, I kind of like what they've done, to be honest with you.
All right, Edie.
And also, it's performing better ever since I got all the textures loaded in.
That's good.
All right, so we're still paused, which means the replay's not running, which is great.
Oh, you know what I haven't done since they updated?
Yes, sir.
I haven't deleted FXO shaders and meta shaders yet.
Yeah, you definitely should do that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Anyhow, not now.
Briefing this thing.
Oh, good call.
We're flying at the Tinian Shoreline, which is a remote show. I don't know what the windage is. Let's find out.
Hold on, I'll look.
Because that's going to be important.
Windage is 357, so basically due north at 4 knots.
Okay, so we will be taking off the reverse. Yeah, I have no idea. It's going to be like due west, I think. All right. Hang on. Pretty much, yeah. So we're flying the Tinian Shoreline remote show. We will taxi. Straight out of Chalks for a left-hand turn onto Alpha. At which point we will back taxi on the east-facing runway to do our funky turnaround. I don't know if there's a cutout.
Okay.
Is there a cutout? Oh, we don't even have to back taxi. Great.
Yeah, there's a taxiway.
Yep. So we will taxi to said taxiway, and do takeoff checks there. At which point it'll be roll onto the runway as standard, setting up for a no flap lower go takeoff maneuver. That's going to take us to crowd right of the show, at which point at 10 miles we will take a left-hand turn and ingress towards the show box. We will start the show with the opposing 360. Remember that the clear for that is a 270-degree roll. For you, that would be left roll, so that we end with our canopies facing the crowd, followed by a 90 roll to level on my call. Then we'll push out and set up for the knife edge. Out of the Delta breakout, it will be a left turn to set up for the Delta flat pass, or Delta parade, as we have been doing it recently. At which point we will come back around Tinian in just like full left loop, more or less, and set up for the east-facing runway for a left pitch brake to land.
Okay, sounds good.
No, sorry, correction, we will not do that. Alright. Out of the Delta Parade Pass, we'll go wings level and climb, and then it will be a right turn to line up with the western runway for a right pitch-up brake to land.
Right turn, west-facing runway, right pitch-up to brake to land.
Yes. Been a while since I've done one of those, too.
So we're going to come back over crowd for that?
No. So if you look at the map...
Oh, yeah, no, I got you. Sorry. I was...
Yeah. We'll come over the Perry. We'll come over the Perry with a slight left bank, so we'll probably be more or less on runway heading. We'll fly away, then we'll do a left... so I was wrong about this. We'll do a left turn back around for a right pitch-up brake to land. Keep forgetting I have a map I can look at.
Got it, yeah. All right, so take it from the top.
From the top, we are going to be taxiing straight out of Chalks for a left turn onto the taxiway. For a left turn and then right turn onto the taxiway to hold short of runway 26.
Got it.
Then we'll line up on 26 for a no-flap blower go takeoff maneuver. At which point we'll fly runway heading until 10 miles. Then we'll take a left turn, and we'll fly. We'll probably fly away. Well, okay. Correction. It'll be. Let me start from the no-flap blower go takeoff again. It's a no-flap blower go takeoff maneuver, left turnout. We will go to the away from crowd heading, at which point we'll fly to 10 miles, and we'll take a left 180 back towards crowd to line up for the opposing 360.
Okay.
Opposing 360 will be executed 8 seconds after we cross center point, at which stage we will break away from each other and smoke on. We'll come around the corner. And since I'll be on the left, I will be low and inside.
Mm-hmm.
We'll cross at center point, smoke off at the cross, at the merge. Then we'll pull to our behind the crowd headings, and then wings level, pull to 40 degrees, and then a 270 degree roll away from crowd, so our canopies end up facing the crowd. 90 degree roll back to level, then push out, set up for the knife edge. Out of the Delta breakout, it will be a left turn to set up for the Delta parade pass. Out of the Delta parade pass, it will be wings level until we probably get out to
a crazy rejoin to do that. All right, sounds good.
Until we get out to about 4 miles, in which case it'll be a left turn. Probably a pretty hard left turn, to be honest with you. So keep it loose in that turn. A left turn to set up onto runway heading for 26 for a right pitch-up brake to land. It'll be a...
Given the distances, you might consider just going all the way over the point and then coming back up the shoreline for that turn to set up for the pitch-up brake to land.
I'll figure it out when we get up there, because it's gonna feel different versus what we're looking at on the map.
And a right pitch-up brake to land. Yep. Yeah. Boy, right brakes are weird.
On landing,
we almost always go left.
On landing, it'll be a stagger right. Then we'll back taxi with a right covered wagon all the way back to the eastern end of 26. In which case, we'll go wing around the corner, and then you'll go well clear on the taxiway so that we can take that left turn unobstructed and hit our boxes for individual right 45s into Chalks.
Well, we're going to take that second taxiway?
The second taxiway, yes.
Great. Let's, I don't know, I'll see if I can find an aerodrome chart, but I'm going to assume that the taxiway onto 26 is Alpha and the taxiway onto 08 is Bravo, because it's probably labeled by what's closer to the terminal.
I have no idea what that philosophy is. I should probably learn it, but yeah. I don't know
Well,
whether
we'll
it's
find
what's
out.
closest to the terminal or what's closest to the lowest numeral runway. I'm not sure.
Yeah, not sure. We'll find out.
Yep. Any questions?
So yes, one question. I am rejoining on you for the Delta Parade Pass.
Yeah.
Cool. So when you clear, you're going to come left for that, correct?
Yes.
All right. I may need you to smoke on so I can find you. I don't know that I've ever done a rejoin profile with that.
We've
So
done it for most of our remote shows.
Not out of the... Okay. We have done that for most of the remote shows, but not when we are doing shoot, I don't remember what the maneuver is called, but like when we face towards the cloud and we do the opposing MRT thingy. Because we're gaining like tons of altitude and we're also pointed further away from each other. So
You
it's
mean the
similar.
Delta breakout? When do you think this is happening?
Okay, so I think this is so we go in, we do our 360s in front of crowd, we cross, we clear. Then you're setting up for this Delta Parade Pass, correct?
No. Then we're setting up for the knife edge.
Then we're setting up for the knife edge. We do a knife edge, then we do an inverted and clear behind the crowd.
Then we do the rest of the show as normal until we get to the Delta breakout, which you lead.
Right. Okay, so we're doing a full show right now.
I see what you're talking about. No, sorry. I briefed the whole show. My bad. Let's brief the reconnaissance flight. Sorry, I was in full show planning mode. My bad.
That makes sense, and I think it's worth planning the whole show. I just thought we were doing the reconnaissance.
Yep, that's fair. That is totally fair. Okay, reconnaissance planning flight mode. It is as briefed until we finish with the inverted to inverted, at which point we will break and do headings.
Sounds good. Okay, cool.
After we do headings for a while, there are two options available to us. Well, there are three options. Option 1, we do the delta roll all the way to the end of the show as practice. Option 2, we do the delta breakout all the way to the end of the show as practice. Option 3, we just form up and land.
Let's play it by ear when we get in the air based on fuel state and like mental acuity. I'm guessing that delta roll to the end of the show is going to be pretty mentally taxing to do an entire show after that.
I agree.
That said, just delta breakout to the end of the show might be a little too little.
All right, we'll do it whatever way you would like to once we get there.
Yeah, I think it'll either be Delta Breakout or just land, but I think it's got to be Delta Breakout and land because we got to reform at some point. We can't just land us as singletons. So expect Delta Breakout to land unless one of us calls an audible based on fuel state or other factors.
So reminder, it's a left turn out of the Delta breakout for the Delta Parade Pass, and then a left turn for the Delta right pitch up brake to land.
Yep, yeah, got it. That makes sense. Okay, I'm tracking.
All right. I'm going to switch inputs.
Cool. How does he do it?
BrotherLeb, you got me?
Loud and clear.
Cool. Ooh, wrong button. Maybe it's this one. Hey, look, 2 aircraft. Awesome. So, actually, hold on. Can you talk again?
Hello, it is me. I'm
Awesome,
Caleb.
okay.
I'm
You
talking.
exist in Discord. Wonderful. Okay, close that. Oh, right, because I didn't change this Ms file. I updated the other, I built, when I built out the Rhoda? Yeah, when I built out the Rhoda shows Ms file,
Uh-huh.
I built it, with the radios correct.
Oh, yeah.
And this
Sometime,
was,
maybe someday I'll update that.
yeah, this was prior to that. Alright.
Not that hard to do. It just takes like probably take me an hour.
We're hot
per
start,
file.
FYI.
Okay, yeah. We should
So,
probably change that for the full
for
show.
the full show, yes, I can do that pretty easily. Alright, ready to unpause?
Yep, ready.
In 3, 2, 1, mark.
Right.
I'm gonna DTC. And then I'll need a couple of seconds to set everything up.
You got it.
This is an unconfigured aircraft. Alright, that works.
DTC is complete.
Sure, CTC is complete. We are in nav and not IFA, but that doesn't matter when you hot start.
I'll have to check that in the Ms file as well. Make sure unrestricted sat nav is set.
Leave your altimeter.
Affirm.
Turn on lights in case we need them. Alright, kick that. HSI. Waypoint to set.
Oh, fine. On. Tinian Shore. I got an idea. Oh, come on. Does it not allow me to do this?
Alright, Chariot's setting ready to roll.
Alright, yeah, it does not. Okay. Let's set and ready to roll.
Chariot's up tree, come on.
Hello, tree, come on.
Discord check.
Good check.
Good check. Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading 125. Remember that for later. Check your altimeter set for 2 for a uncorrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your barrel warning 0. Check your FCS 12 30 30 30 down 2. Check your fuel so you don't have lights out.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good smoke. Good morning, Chariot. Updated winds are calm. 358 for 4 knots. We got a broken layer at 7. Check your altimeter set 2 for a uncorrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Chariot squawk 1205, left squawk 1206. You're clear to taxi left out of the chocks, and then right on taxiway Alpha. Hold short 24.
Thanks, Lab. Cleared to taxi. Hold short 2-4. Solos, we're cleared to taxi. Check your parking brakes off. Chariot's powering up to 75% off brakes now. Chariots come, left game 2 and trail. Easing power to 60 and land roll. And we're coming left. Stay trail. Adding power to 72, letting her roll. Chariot's easing power to 16, letting her roll. Chariot's coming right, go wing. Chariot's adding power to 70. BrotherLeb, go, ladder breast.
Leb.
Chariot's coming left. Easy left. Chariot's easing power on idle. Little brakes. Easy brakes. A little more brakes. Brakes. Takeoff checks.
Leb.
Check your lights off, check your line lights off, check your flaps are half, check your waypoint is correct, and then the box swing, waypoint 2 at 2.6 miles. Check altimeter set to barometric and set to 2.992. Check your dispenser is bypass and your seat is armed. Check your heading, my heading at 333.
Confirm 0, tree.
0 tree.
Leb.
Check your altimeter set to right out.
Rad.
Check your parking brake is off, chair is powering up to 70%, off brakes now, BrotherLeb detach.
Leb's attached. Little left.
Coming left, okay. Inside hash. Little brakes, easy brakes, little more brakes, brakes. Solos were cleared for takeoff. Updated winds are 35744. That is a headwind. Check your parking brake off. Maneuver are no flap blower go maneuver. Left turn out. Left turn out. Check your parking brake off. Let's roll up. Off brakes now. Blowers ready now. A little pull. Ready, split. Roll, gear flaps. Rolling out. Easing power, 240.
Contact.
260. 280, coming left. Comes the pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out.
You got two, Chariot.
Chariot. Arrival checks.
Left.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your landing light is on. Check your altimeter set to barrel.
Lab.
Easing power. Easing more power. Easing more power. Recommend keeping it loose until we turn in. And we're coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out. Delta's at the 90 for the head-on. And we're coming back left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Looking for 056. Ease in the pull and rolling out. A little drive. We're gonna have to come back right. Ease in a little power. Ease in more power. Coming back right. Coming further right. 2.5 mark. Ease in the pull and roll and out go line abreast. 1.5 mark. Adding a little power, a little pull to level. Center point. Rudder brake, smoke on. 380 mark.
Ouch.
365.
Slow.
370.
Contact.
Contact looking for center point lab. Outport actually.
Lab.
Merge, smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Trace clear and clearing behind the crowd for the knife edge. 1.5.
2 miles mark.
On time.
Mark.
Let me know when you're beam.
Beam.
Let me know when you're ready to take a mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it.
Mark 403.
Trace in for the right knife edge.
Coming right. 3 miles. Mark 410. Two miles. Mark 395.
Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact's off. Ready, hit it! Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chair's clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. 2 miles mark.
2.5. Four miles mark.
Lemon in your beam.
A beam.
Lemon in your ticket mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it.
Four miles. Mark 360.
Chariot's in for the left inverted.
Left and left. Invert. 3 miles. Mark 410. Two miles. Mark 402.
Ready, hit it. Smoke on. Contact, looking good. A little drive. Ready, hit it.
Clear.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chair's clear, and clear behind the crowd for scouts.
Left. Clear.
Dude, I forgot how hard this is. Chariot's coming right and circling behind the crowd. Crowd left for overhead.
I was gonna do a sneak to vertical.
Copy, Chariot. We'll do a sneak. You want to time it together or no?
Go ahead.
I'm going to be really slow on this turn because I don't have the altitude to help.
Okay.
Chariot circling 5 miles for sneak 2 verticals. And Chariot's turning in 5 miles for sneak 2 verticals. I'm cutting it in half. 4 miles mark for our 7.5.
Probably be late.
3 miles mark 7.9. 2 miles mark 8.3.
Yeah, a mile behind. Do what you need.
1 mile mark 8.7 full burn.
Smokes on.
Chair's clear 9.3.
Ready. Hit it. Actually not bad. Stand by. Roll. $10,000 climbs, no factor.
Copy that. I'm going to start to set up, I'm going to go way outboard and set up some visuals for being online. Because I'm going to need them for the show site. Alright, Chariot's circling 6 miles for the overhead, right to left.
Using that breakwater is helping me a lot.
Yeah. Four miles mark. Three miles mark right over the peak of that hill. And waypoint's moving, so we'll need to check 2 miles mark.
Reference the boat.
Yeah. 1 mile mark smoke on. Center point.
Maintain show heading. Get your references.
1 mile mark smoke off.
Visual.
Two miles mark right over the peak of this hill. Tallest tree on both sides should be online.
Good to know.
3 miles mark over the water. 3 miles mark should be in line with Saipan, and 4 miles mark on way on the ocean. So. And Chariot's gonna come back in. Online.
There's a quarter mile trip.
Four miles mark. Three miles mark. Two miles mark. Yeah, that'll work. Smoke on. Center point. One mile marks off. Two miles mark right on the shore. And because we don't have sat nav, this is all inaccurate. 3 miles mark just past the hill.
It'll be in the ballpark though.
Alright, I need to probably do an MRT.
Sounds good. I'm going to set up for an inverted tuck over roll so I can get an idea of that side picture.
Two.
Let's in out from the right 4 mile.
Two.
Three miles mark. Two miles marks McCon. One mile mark. Center point, smoke off, clear mount ground.
It looked like it was online.
That wasn't the inverted tug of roll, that was just to set it up for it.
Oh. Chariot's in 3.5 for the MRT.
Do what you need, you got plenty of time.
Chariot's in 1.5 for the MRT. Burners now. Ready, hit it. Good entry.
Flight control. Flight control.
Ease in the pull. Comes the pull. Pulling. Kicking. Pushing out.
90 for the vertical roll.
Leveling out. 950. Coming right. Comes the pull.
Use the end of the pier for your height jet reference. Up we go. Easing power. Ready. Hit it. Upward smoke on. A little drive. Ready. Clear. Smoke off. Stand by. Roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by. Roll. Roll now. Cover left.
Try circling behind the crowd for the opposing MRT.
Visual.
Look for 236.
See if I can get it.
Good luck with that. Ease in the pull and rolling out. Pulls in for the opposing MRT. Easing power. Smoke on the fleet. A little pull to level, which you will need to do probably.
Got it. I'm behind you. Do what you need.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it. Smoke on. 380 mark.
Match.
Numbers.
Left. Contact.
Looking good for center point, lab. True center point. Merge. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll. 1, 2, 3, and
Clear.
roll.
Clear.
Roll. Trace clear. Clearing in front of the crowd.
That's clear. State 6-4.
State 6-2. I should probably wrap this up.
Sounds good. Where can I find you?
Let's just come back in.
Sounds good. I'm way out of parameters, but 4 miles.
Coming under your beam.
A beam.
I'm gonna take a mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it.
Gonna be late. 4 miles. Mark 40.
Sure, it's in for the rejoin. Correction, for the opposing horizontal rolls, flat clears.
Left, flight clear. 2.8 mark. 2.8.
On time, true center point.
2 miles. Mark 401.
Smoke on. Connect. A little pull. Ready. Hit it.
Roll right, roll right.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull. 056.
Left.
Stand by, roll. Trace clear and clear behind the crowd for the rejoin. Connect.
Visual. Are you clearing or rejoining me
Sure.
for the Delta breakout?
Sure.
Let's do it. Coming left. 370, easy power. 360. 355. 350, adding a little car catch. Easy little power, 355. A little further left.
Overshoot.
Get ready, we're easing the pull and rolling out. Easing some power. A little pull to level. Easing power.
You got 6 miles.
Adding a little power. We're way outboard and we're outside the show box. Coming left. A little further left comes the pole. Easing power. Slows at the 90 for the Delta breakout.
Chariot. Chariot.
Coming further left. And a little more pull. Ease in the pull. Rolling out the Delta breakout. Easing power. Smoke on 5 right. Easing a little more power, a little pull to level, a little drive. Sorry about that. Ready, break. Set. Smoke off. Clear.
Chairs clear. If you're 056, 280 at 1200.
Contact.
Stand by left turn.
Left.
300. Ease and power. 315 coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease and more power. 340. Ease and power to catch. Ease and some pull.
You got 2 on the left, Chariot.
Chariot. Delta's in the left-hand turn for the Delta. The parade pass. Coming further left.
I never fly this position anymore.
A little more pull. Ease and more power. Ease in the pull. Smoke on. We're in for the Delta parade pass. Smoke off. Let's ease it out. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. BrotherLeb, switch right.
Lab switch right. You got 2 right.
Copy that. Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Coming further left. A little more pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out the right. Pitch a brake to land.
Right brake hick.
Adding power. Smoke on. Adding more power. At the numbers. Center point, boss breaking.
Left brake.
Ease in the pull and rolling out 050.
Look cleared left on my mistake.
Smoke off. Gear flaps.
That's visual to me.
Train's coming right. 280 lib. .260 lib. .240 lib. .220 lib. Chariots gear down. 3 green. Stagger is right. 200 lib. 180 lib. 160 lib. 140 all the way lib.
160. 140 all the way. These trees are kind of fun.
Sure, it's okay.
That's okay. That's okay, Trade.
Chariot, landing checks. Check your smoke pressure off. Check taps, check flaps, auto, check land lights off, reset your trim, safe seat.
What?
We'll go well clear on Charlie. Well, we'll go well clear on Bravo, probably for synchronized left 45 center shocks. Right 45 center shocks at 245.
Lab.
245 is dead wrong, but you know what I mean.
125.
Do you want to practice the cover wagon, or do you want to do a solo taxi back for speed?
Let's do solo back for speed.
Copy, standby, solo left onto Charlie. Check brake brakes off, chairs powering up to 75%, off brakes down. Chariots coming left, easy power 60 at land roll. Go trail.
Flap.
Go left wing. Coming easy left. Chariot's adding power to 72, reference 30 knots. Using power to 68, let roll. Four knots feels way different here.
Yeah.
Like when we were trying to take off, like I thought it was a headwind, but sure doesn't feel like it, and sure doesn't look like it from the SOC.
No. Remember, the winds are out of the north. So they're basically, it's a crosswind.
Yeah, it's a right crosswind. Just adding power to 72. Long way home.
Yeah.
Chariot's easy power to 68. BrotherLeb, go well clear.
Lab.
We're coming right. Coming easy right. Coming back easy left. They'll thank me later. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little more brakes. Off brakes now. Coming left. Coming right for parking. Okay. 125. Too close. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Stand by canopy and engines.
Clip.
3, 2, 1, mark. Come on, engines. Alright, let's re-rack and do the real thing.
Sounds good. Note, you're going to want to make the jets cold start.
Working on it.
There's something else. Oh, you can get rid of that Airshow chrome.
Okay.
I can't think if there's anything else that needs to be done, really.
This is a hard show site.
It is a hard show site. I agree. We haven't done a remote show in a long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of those skills are rusty. At least for me, they are.
Both aircraft are takeoff from ground. I need to check the,
Oh, yeah, sat-nav, unrestricted sat-nav.
I forgot which button that is. Not that one.
It's mission options. It looks like a little check mark.
Unrestricted sat-nav, enforce. Value checked. It was enforced, but the value was not checked. So we were
it's
enforcing
enforced
not
off.
not unrestricted sat-nav. Alright. Exit. Multiplayer. I'm gonna look away
Box
here.
yourself. Yeah.
Let's minus that, plus it. Mariana shows, okay, start. Theoretically, they're cold. So, server should be going up.
Oh, man.
What?
This password thing.
Do I need to hide us?
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Tinian.
Somebody'd have to be real quick on the draw.
Alright, Tinian it is.
There's only 3 people that would ever be real quick on the draw. 2 of which are in this current stream.
We're cold.
Good. Alright, I'm in a jet.
Alright, unpausing in 3, 2, 1, mark. This is such a hard show site.
Don't psych yourself out.
I'm not. I'm just thinking about what to do about some of the maneuvers and stuff.
Ooh, switches, yeah.
Advise when ready for startup.
Ready for start.
Battery on, APU on, standby for canopy.
Go,
3, 2, 1, mark. Standby for right engine crank. And 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby right engine forward. And 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine crank.
Left APU is not on, so I'm behind you. Continue with startup.
I'll await left engine crank for you. Advise when ready for left engine crank.
Roll left. Flight controls.
Almost
Flight
there.
controls.
Ready for left engine.
Left engine crank in 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine forward. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby FCS.
Go for FCS.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
Also in test.
People have asked why do we do this synced up, and it's because they actually would with the ground crew. Trace FCS's go.
Aim.
Double check your switches.
Yep.
We don't. Well, we need to await alignment. I forgot. Chariot's IFA is holding. Praise the Lord. DTC. Chariot's DTC is complete.
Let up tree, come on.
Chariot's up tree, come on. Discord check.
Good check.
Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading 125. Check your altimeter set. 299R2 for uncorrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your barrel warning 0. Check your FCS 12. 30, 30, 30 down 2. Check your fuel seat arm lights out.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Lab. Good sir. Good morning, Chariot. Updated winds are calm. Out of the north, 35744. Cleared to taxi left out of Chalks and then right on taxiway Alpha to hold short, runway 24.
Thanks, lad.
Sorry. Before those taxi instructions, Chariot will need to squawk 1205, level squawk 1206. You're cleared taxi.
Thanks, lad. Clear to taxi. Hold short 04. Hold short 24.
Lab.
Souls for cleared to taxi. Check your parking is off. Chairs parking up to 75%. Off brakes now. Chariots come, lock into and trail. Chariots easing power to 70, letting it roll. Come and left, give me 2 on the right wing. Chariot's adding power to 72, and we're coming right. Chariot's easy power to 60 and letting it roll. BrotherLeb, go line abreast.
Lab.
Little brakes. Easy brakes. Off brakes now. Come and left. Little brakes. Easy brakes. A little more brakes. Brakes. Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your lights are off. Check your line lights off. Check your flaps are half. Check your waypoint is correct. Into the box showing waypoint 2 at 2.6 miles. Check your altimeter set to barometric and set to 2.9R2. Correction. Check your altimeter set to rad out and set to 2.9R2. Check your dispenser's bypass and your seat is armed. Check your heading. My heading tree 4.
Lab.
Solos were clear for takeoff. Check parking brake is off. Solo Chariot's switching 8.1.
Lab.
Chariot's up on 8.1. Check park because off. Chair sprung up to 70%. Off brakes now. BrotherLeb detach.
Left attached. And left.
Coming left. Okay. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Solos were clear for takeoff. Updated winds are 357 for 4. That's a right crosswind. Check your park brake is off. Maneuver are no flap blower go maneuver.
Lab.
Check your park brake is off. Let's warm up. Off brakes now. Blowers ready now. A little pull. Ready split. Roll. Gear flaps. Rolling out. Easing power. 220. 240.
Contact.
Coming left. Coming further left. A little pull. 280. Easing some pull. Easing the pull and rolling out. Easing power. Easing more power.
You got 2 Chariot.
Chariots. Arrival checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your lane lines on. Barrel out.
Left.
Easing more power. We're going to climb in this turn because we're really close to center point. Adding a little power. Coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Coming further left. Rolling out. Easing the pull. Easing more pull. Coming right. Coming back right. A little drive. Adding power. Shit. Rolling out. 2.8. Easing a little power. Go line abreast. We're 20 left. Easing the pull. Smoke on. Adding a little power. Smoke off. Ready, hit it! Smoke on. 380 mark.
A little slow.
370. 370.
Contact.
Contact. Looking for centerpoint lab. Merge smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Trace clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the knife edge. 1.7 mark.
Match. Man, I bleed speeding that turn so hard.
Me too, dude.
I couldn't get it above 360. Like, I had to ease it out to 2G. Four miles, mark.
Let me know on your beam.
A beam.
Let me know on your intake of mark.
Go dig it.
Stand by, mark it.
Four miles, mark 3.
Chariots in for the right knife edge.
Of the right edge. Three miles, mark 410. Two miles, mark 402.
Smoke on.
Alright.
Connect, smoke off. Ready, hit it!
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Trace clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. 2 miles mark.
2.3.
What are you doing?
3 miles, mark. 3.5, mark. 4 miles, mark.
Let me know on your beam.
A beam.
Let me know on your intake mark.
Go dig it.
Stand by, mark it.
Four miles, mark 380.
Chariots in for the left inverted.
Left and left, mark. 3 miles, mark 42. Two miles, mark 398.
On time. Ready, hit it! Smoke on.
Roll right, roll right.
Connect looking good. A little drive. Ready, hit it!
Clear.
Roll
Smoke
right,
off.
roll right.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Ease the bull. Rolling out. Chairs clear and clear behind the crowd for the Fortis. Coming up, Took's coming down. 360.
Contact.
350. Ease and more power. A little more pull. 335. 325, ease in the pull, and rolling out. Soldier behind the crowd, setting up the Fortis, 315.
Two cheer.
Chariot, check your line lights on. Coming left. Coming further left comes the pull, adding a little power. Stand by the gear. Adding more power. Adding more power. Coming further left comes the pull. At the 90 for the Fortis, gear down, flap down, hook up, boards up.
Let's gear down, hook down, 5 support up.
Coming further left, a little more pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The Fortis, 5 right. Adding some power, and Chariots are rolling in.
Clear.
Online and low. Correction high. Center point. Trey's pushing out. Rolling out.
Clear.
Coming back left comes the pull. Stand by the gear. Hook. BrotherLeb, knock it off.
Clear.
Cherry's clear and clearing behind the crowd for the MRT. State 8-7.
State 8-4. Good.
What are you looking at? I know what I'm doing.
Well, you know I'm always trying to critique you at all times.
I'm joking, dude.
So am I.
Chariot circling 5 miles for the MRT. And Cherry's turning in 5 miles for the MRT. Four miles, Mark 350, working an angle. 3 miles, Mark 348. Two miles, Mark 349. 1.5 miles MRT. 1 mile, Mark 353. Burners now. Ready, hit it! Slow entry.
Flight control. Flight control.
Ease in the pull. Comes the pull. Pulling. Kicking. Chariot's pushing out. Leveling out 1300. Coming right. Comes the pull.
Contact.
Ease of the pull. Rolling out. Smoke on. Smoke off. Easing lots of power. 350. Souls are behind the crowd. Send up the opposing MRT, adding power. 355.
You got to.
Chariot. And we're coming right. Comes the pull. Looking for 056, or correction, 236. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The opposing MRT online. Adding power, a little pull to level. Smoke on the lead.
A beam. Little drive. Easing power. Power set.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it! Smoke on. 380 mark.
A little slow.
370.
Match.
Numbers.
Contact.
Contact inboard lab.
Lab.
Merge. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll. 1, 2, 3, and
Clear.
roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chair's clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing horizontal rolls. 2.5 mark.
Match.
My bad.
Four miles. Mark.
Let me know your beam.
A beam.
Let me know you're ready to mark.
Go take it.
Stand by, mark it.
4 miles. Mark 410.
Chariot's in for the left horizontal rolls.
Up to the left. Or
Find the car clears.
I think 3 miles. Mark 400.
On time.
2 miles. Mark 385.
On time.
95.
Smoke on.
Connect.
Connect. Little pull. Ready. Hit it.
All right, all
Clear.
right.
Smoke off. Burners. Pull. Damn it. Stand by. Roll. Burners. Pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out 7.5.
85.
Chariot's coming right and circling behind the crowd for the sneak 2 vertical roll. State 7-0.
State 71.
That was awful. Chariot circling 5 miles for the sneak 2 vertical rolls. And Chariot's turn in 5.2 sneak 2 vertical rolls halfway. Four miles, mark point 76.
On time.
3 miles, mark point 3. 2 miles, mark point 87. 1 mile, mark point 90, full burn.
Smoke's on.
That was close. Trace cleared, 9.5.
Stand by. Roll. $10,000 clouds, no factor.
Clouds no factor, high show clears. Chariot circling 4.5 for the solo loop. And Chariot's turning in 4 miles for the solo loop.
Left clear 14.
Wings level, smoke on. Up we go, a little more pull, adding power, adding more power. Vertical 6-0, easing power, easing more power, a little ease. Comes the pull, a little more pull. Winds aloft, blowing right to left. Ease the pull, adding power. Go, Diamond Singer. Adding more power. Smoke off. Chariot attach. Chariot attach, boss. Nailed it. Let me know your beam.
Beam.
Let me know your take a mark.
Go take it.
Stand by, mark it.
4 miles, mark 150.
What? Chariot's in for the right 4 point.
Loves it for the right 4 point.
I don't know what to do with that.
3 miles, mark 360. Two miles, mark 405 wood lane.
Smoke on.
Correct.
Contact smoke off. Ready, hit it! 1, 2,
All right, all right.
3, 4.
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariot's clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing vertical pitch. 2 miles, mark.
2.1.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Fun stuff now.
4 miles, mark.
Let me know your beam.
A beam.
Let me know your take a mark.
Go take it.
Stand by, mark it.
Four miles, mark 4.
Chariot's in for the left vertical pitch.
To the left vertical pitch.
Try to make it 50.
50. 3 miles, mark 406. Two miles, mark 398.
Pull up, pull up.
Smoke on.
Contact.
Add it up.
Pull up, pull up.
Ready, hit it. 60. Stand by, roll, and pull. Power's idle. 45, 40, 35, 30. Horizon, now 86.
7-9 early.
Contact power's in. .5 marks 470.
0.2 ahead.
1 mile mark 460. Half mile mark 440. A little pull. Ready, hit it.
Roll left, roll left.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chariot's clear, and clear behind the crowd for the inverted tuck overall.
Let's go on the left, 350.
Contact.
A little further left. Little pull. Ease and pull. Roll and out. Ease a little power. 360. A little pull to level.
You got to.
Left, holds behind the guards, setting up the invert tuck overall, coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull, adding power. More pull. So the 90 for the inverted overhaul. Ease in the pull. And rolling out the inverted overhaul. Ease and a little power.
Chariot. Oh,
Up.
shit.
We go. Easing a little more power. Ready. Up.
Smoke on.
A little drive. Ready. Hit.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left.
Come on left.
Contact.
Ease in the pull. Rolling out. Coming left. 360. Adding a little power. 370. 375. Ease a little power. 380. Hold 380. Ease level, rolling out. Easing more power.
You got 2 left.
So behind the crowd setting up the section alpha. Little dry.
Super nose happy today.
We're coming left. Easing power idle, coming further left. Comes the pull. Stand by the board. Little more pull. Souls are at the 94, the section high alpha. A little further left. Stand by the board. Sports. And we're easing the pull. Rolling out. For miles. Easing more pull. Easing more power. A little pull. Easing more power. 2.5. 190. A little pull to level 180. 170. A little more pull. 160. A little more pull. 155. A little more pull. 150. Bring in a little power. 145. 140 pull onto the set. Set it. Little power to catch smoke on.
Center point. Knock it off.
Left. Pulling a 60. See, coming left.
Chariot's breaking left and climbing. 320. 330. Ease in the pull. 340 ease in power.
Contact.
Comes the pull. 340. Ease and power 370, ease in the pull, and rolling out. Souls are behind the crowd, setting up the section breakout, easing more power 380.
Don't have to, Chariot.
Chariot. And we're coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease and some pull. Coming further left, a little more pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The section breakout at 2.2. Go loud rest. Adding power. Smoke on 1.5. 1 mile mark. Half mile mark. Ready. Hit it. Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull.
Connect.
Ease in the pull and rolling out. Easing power 370.
Connect.
Ease in more power 360. 355. Souls are behind the crowd. Delta's behind the crowd. Send up the Delta roll state for 1.
State 4-3.
We're coming left. Coming further left. Adding a little power comes the pull. A little more pull.
You got 6 caution.
Boss. Adding a little power. Delta stop 190 for the Delta roll.
11.
Gonna be a big ease here. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The Delta roll, easing more power. Smoke on. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Rolling out comes the pull. Ease in the pull to level. Coming left. Coming further left. Easing power comes the pull. A little more pull.
Clear to go.
Ease in the pull, rolling out some bank. Smoke off. Rolling out more bank. Adding power. Ease and more pull. Shift it. Coming back left comes the pull. Ease in the pull and roll it out. The flirtily. Up. We go a little more pull. Smoke on. Rudder brake.
Right roll.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull. Contact.
Ease the pull and roll.
Chariot's over you and crossing over your nose now. 520 using power.
Contact.
500. 480. Add more power. 460 coming further right comes the pull. Little more pull.
You got 2.
Smoke on. Rolling out. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Set. Okay. Set. Smoke off. Go get him.
Market 315 at 2,370.
Sure, sir.
380, a little pulled level. $390, we're coming right. Coming further right comes the pull 400. A little more pull. Even more pull. Don't visit the 90 for the loop across boss 115.
Chariot 300. Contact. You got 6 miles.
Ease in the pull. Rolling out. We're wide. A little pull to level. This is awful.
Clear rejoin. Clear rejoin.
Boss, no maneuver.
Chariot, no maneuver.
So, up. So, off. Coming left. Easing power coming further left. Comes the pull. Easing more power. Adding power. A little pull. Little more pull. Ease in the pull. Rolling out.
I haven't done a right wing rollout in a long time.
A little pull. Adding power. Delta's behind the crowd, setting up the Delta breakout.
Chariot.
We're coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pole. Easing a touch of power. Easing the pole. Rolling out. And we're coming back left. Coming further left. Comes the pole.
Clear return.
Coming further left. A little more. Oh. Deltas of the 94, the Delta breakout.
Chariot. Got 6 boss.
Boss, a little further left. A little more. Pull. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. Smoke on. Online. Ease in the pole. Little dry. Easing a touch of power. And up. Ready, break. Set. Smoke. Off. Clear.
Chariot's clear. 040 at 280, 1400.
Contact.
$300, coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pole. 320, ease and power. 325. $330, Delta's in a left-hand turn for the Delta Parade Pass. 330. Ease and power.
You got it, 6 boss.
Boss. Coming further left. Rolling out a little bank. Smoke on. Ease and a little pull. And we're in for the parade pass.
What happened?
Adding power. Adding more power. Smoke off. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. BrotherLeb, switch right.
Look. Loves in right.
Chariot. It's literally right behind us. Okay. Do you want to come back right or come back left after the turn?
Do what you need.
Coming right. Coming further right. Comes the hole. Easing power. Easing more power. This was the wrong decision. Easing more power.
Clear to him.
Ease in the pull. Coming back left. Ease in more pull. Adding power. Ease in the pull. We're in a left-hand turn for the right. Pitch a brake to land.
Right brake.
Coming further left. Comes the pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The right. Pitch a brake to land. Smoke on. Adding a little power. Center point, boss Bergen.
Left.
Ease in the pull and rolling out. 050.
Let's roll now. 050.
Smoke off. Gear and flaps. Chariot's coming right. 300 leb. $280 leb, deedle deedle. $260 leb. $240 leb.
Fuel low. Fuel low.
Yeah, shut up. 220 lab, trade south of 90, gear down 3 green, stagger is right.
Leb's gear down, 5 stop, hook up, board up, stagger right.
200 lab. $180 lab. $160 lab. Overshoot. 140 all the way lab.
160. 140 all the way.
Sure, it's okay.
Okay. That's okay,
Chariot, landing checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure off. Check your stab. Wow. Check your smoke pressure off. Check your tabs. Check your flaps auto. Check your lane lines off. Reset your trim and safe proceed.
Lab.
Will go well clear on Bravo. On Alpha for individual old right 45s into chocks.
Lab.
Check your park brakes off. Chairs parking up to 72%. Off brakes now. Stand by covered wagon. Come left. Give me 2 on the left wing.
Lab.
We survived.
We did indeed. Souls rim.
Ready, split. Reference 40 knot covered wagon.
Burn it.
Adding power up to 75. Let it roll. And ease power to 69. Let it roll.
Giggity.
Of course he did. Okay, so how much of that show do you feel good about?
Very little.
Me too, dude. Just a miracle we're alive.
Be a long debrief.
I'm not gonna remember everything before the tape.
Yeah. The jet is so on the nose.
Flying form is so touchy.
Like, compared to the last site, it's awful.
I mean, that's what 2992 gets you. Ease and power to 68, letting her roll. The amount of up and down we do is also not fun.
No.
Very Seattle-esque.
Yeah.
Little brakes. Easy brakes. A little more brakes. Off brakes now. Coming right, keep me on the right wing. Adding power to 70. Easy right. Ease in power to 68. Letting her roll. Coming easy right. Little brakes. Easy brakes. A little more brakes. Off brakes now. BrotherLeb, go well clear, coming left.
Lab.
Adding power to 70 again. And ease power to 68 lateral. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Off brakes now. Coming left. Coming right for parking. Okay. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little more brakes. Brakes. Standby canopy and engines.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. We're not dead.
Nope.
Alright, punching out and coming into the debrief.
Cool.
BrotherLeb, you got me?
I'm clear.
Well, that was a thing.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Oh my gosh. I think there are a couple...
Very difficult.
Yeah, I think there are a couple things conspiring against us. One, we haven't done a remote show in a while. Two, this is a hard remote show.
Yep.
And three, I think we probably reached, like... We're probably at peak, like, we probably were at peak performance last night. As far as, like, our capabilities.
Yep. Last couple nights, yeah. For sure.
So I think we're just tired at this point.
Yeah.
As much as recon shows are important, at the same time, like, it does take some of your fortitude.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what about that when we were doing it. I was like, oh man, we can't do a delta roll.
Yeah.
The rest of the show, otherwise, I'm like, my brain is gonna be fried.
Alright, let's debrief this thing. We did a show at Tinian Shoreline for the first time in, like, 2 years?
Yeah, I think we've only ever done it one other time.
I think we've done it twice, but it's been a while, and... No, I think you're right. I think we've done Saipan Shore a couple times, but not Tinian.
Yeah, we've done Saipan Shore a few times, but Tinian I think we've only done once.
I like Saipan Shore. I do not like this Showsite.
No, this one is not great. I wonder if they would have the center point where we have it, or if they change it because of the like hills and things.
If you push it out much farther, no one would see anything.
It's true. Or maybe they just wouldn't do it on the shore here. They do it over the field.
Oh, they definitely do it over the... Well, I mean, I don't know what they wouldn't fly here is the actual reality.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
But,
They
I mean,
fly
they
it.
do Seattle, so...
Saipan.
They do
Yeah,
Seattle,
that's
so...
also true.
We can't actually say what they would do. They can go anywhere, and they're that good, and we're not.
Accurate.
Okay, let's debrief it. Let's see. My goal for the show was to not screw up anything. Like, not bail out of any maneuvers. Like, actually get everything in, like, as lead and stuff like that. And I just barely pulled it off. Goodness. There's so much to talk about, but that was my goal. And I would say that I would count it a success, though a marginal success.
I didn't really set a goal for this. If I had one, I guess where my head was at was to fly good inverted tugover roll and high alpha setups. And I think on that account those goals I achieved, but it was pretty much a failure on all other counts. So I don't want to like say like, oh, hey, I achieved my goals because I didn't set them, and that was just kind of where my head was at the beginning. It was like, oh, I don't want to screw those up. But there was, yeah, it was my performance was so poor across the board that I don't want to say that I was like that there was any kind of success in that. I don't feel like that's honest.
By performance, you mean like your individual performance, the performance of the sim?
No, the way that I performed.
Oh, okay.
Not the performance of the sim, my computer, all that stuff.
Okay.
That was workable. It was fine.
Yeah. Same.
There was one thing on the opposing MRT when you rolled off and I was chasing you, and the update rate was so like it was like meow, 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 meow. I was like, this is hard, but other than that, it was fine.
All right. Well, let's get on in with the maneuver by maneuver debrief.
Start with the taxi.
Okay. Starting with the taxi. I think what I did this time is what I like better, because they wouldn't hang out in trail the whole time. So putting it on the right wing is probably the best choice, given the taxi. Yeah, we parked up in a good spot, and I felt like our turn onto the field was decent. No notes.
Yeah, I don't have any notes for the taxi. Taxi was fine. A little speedy getting onto the runway, but other than that, it's fine.
All right. So we did a no flap blower go, which isn't in here. At least not that I'm aware of. No. Those are just the contingencies, so I do not believe the no flap blower go is in this maneuvers manual. It is not. So anyway, no flap blower go. On my side, as far as I could tell, the parameters were hit. The roll off was good. I was able to get gear up and back onto airfield heading fairly accurately, and then I came too far left on the outbound for the head-on, which made me had to solve a really nasty math problem coming back towards the crowd, which I will get to in a bit.
Yeah, no flatboard go. I got behind you on the roll off and just never quite caught up, so that means I was a little low on the split, which is a safety because I was like below altitude. Made it work, but definitely dangerous, so I'll fix that for next time.
Okay, so the head-on. Last time I went too far away from the field. Like on the practice show, and this time I went too close. We actually went past the crowd heading. I think if I actually roll out on crowd heading, it should work out pretty well. But as was, we were rolled out on 210 instead of 248 or whatever it's supposed to be.
It's 220, 246, 226, 226.
226, yeah. So we were 15 degrees pointed crowd left, which made the math problem hard. So had to do this weird climb and drop back down in for the head-on, which was not ideal. And then we were still 20 degrees 20 degrees. If you're looking at the aircraft from the crowd, we would have been 20 degrees left. I thought about doing some maneuvers to solve it, and I was like, you know what? No. It's a bad idea. We're within 5 miles. You just gotta live with it. So that created issues for the head-on, because that meant that I was coming around the corner a lot faster than you, relative to center point, and you were also going slower, as we talked about in the sky. So I ended up I ended up dropping my speed a lot in the corner because I was like, there's no way he's going to be able to make this work alone with the amount of screw up that I had. So I think we actually probably hit around center point, outboard. But yeah, then the climb out and the rolls were fine. So I guess my safety is I need to roll out of the burn 270 onto away from crowd heading. Um, and then also I didn't wait the full 8 seconds after we crossed center point, which meant that we were outboard for the cross. So yeah, so the first one's a safety, because that puts us in a position where we have to maneuver not as briefed. And the second one is a note, and I will take it and fix it for next time.
As we've discussed in the jets earlier, flying formation is very difficult with the way that the jet acts under these conditions. So I was just starting to come to grips with how hard that is on this turn and like all the maneuvering you were doing. So that was just very challenging. And I think the note, in addition to it just not looking good, the note I will take from that is I think I just need to fly well clear at this show site until I can figure out how to fly it more smoothly, because yeah, it is very challenging. And then the other note that I will take is that I think I pulled too hard on the initial onset of the turn and for the OMRT later on. Put in too much G initially, and it bled down speed. Looking at the TAC view and my onset, I get it up to 6 Gs, and your onset, you only got to like 5.5, so you're still kind of in the ballpark, but you eased it off a lot quicker than I did. And so I'm down to 350 calculated airspeed, and you maintained more airspeed than I did. And I just wasn't able to get it back. So yeah, the note is just not pull as hard on that initial onset. The rest of the maneuver was not very clean. Like obviously, partly because of the angle problem, our hit was probably 4 right. And your circle ends up being very flat on the back end, and mine ends up being like really acute on the back end. But I still managed to beat you to center point somehow. And I think it's because I was so slow at the beginning of the turn. It was kind of close, so it was maybe not 4 right. But yeah, and then clears were just kind of sloppy because I was mentally out of it. So yeah, the big note there is just the onset of that pull.
All right, moving ourselves on to the knife edge. I called the hit too early for this one, so we were hung on the knife edge for a while. In addition, this is the beginning of me still trying to figure out how to line up for these maneuvers correctly with absolutely no ground reference whatsoever between 3 miles and center point. So, no safety on this particular one. The note would be I need to wait longer to call the hit for this. Yeah.
Not a huge note. I kind of had similar challenges making sure that the lineup was right. I mark it, the way I've been doing it is just basically like I try to put the ship underneath the diamond on my heading tape, and the diamond on my heading tape will be right on like either 146 or 326. And then I basically wait to see your smoke and deconflict from there. And then I'm also sort of setting up on one or the other of the sides of the ship, depending on which way I'm coming in from. But And it generally worked, but a lot of it was just sort of waiting to see where your smoke was, which is why they do it, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that I knew I was lined up parallel to you and we weren't going to conflict.
Yep.
Other than that, the maneuver was pretty, like, the maneuver inside the box was fine. The clear was not good because I hadn't realized just how the jet reacted. I felt like once you were maneuvering the jet, it didn't want to stop doing that. Like, it took a lot more stopping force to stop rolls. But then when we were in formation, it was like the slightest touch, and we're all over the place. So, yeah. So no big notes there. Just sort of sloppy.
Yep, I agree. All right, inverted tuckover roll, or sorry, inverted to inverted roll, not the inverted tuckover roll. It's not skip ahead. This one felt pretty good. I had a pretty good push at the start of it again, and that was just due to like trying. There's just so many variables going on, and I got behind the jet. So that's a safety, and I'll take it for next time because I should not be getting behind the jet at this particular show site. Also, my radio calls at this show site tonight, both in the reconnoiter flight and the actual performance, were trash, and this is the first of those where it was not clear, where it was clear, but it was unnecessary. After you called clear, I should have called roll and pull, but I called smoke off, and that gives us more lateral separation, usually by about quarter to half a mile, which makes it hard for you to rejoin on the back end for the Fortis. So that is a safety because it affects our fuel state, and man, would we have to worry about that at the end. And I'll fix that for next time.
Let's see. So there are a number of maneuvers that I ingress from this side and have to get pretty low pretty fast to set up something. And this is the first time I realized just how dramatic that is. I came over the top of the hill at 100 feet AGL over the top of that thing. And I basically just scooted down the hill between 100 and 200 feet AGL to get down to the level. Normally, I want to be on profile, lined up and everything by 2 miles for this. Because you usually call the roll in at about 1.5, and I need a little bit of time to do any fiddly bits I got to do. And I was still scooping back to level by the time you called it, so it ended up being just sort of a smooth scoop and flip. And you called smoke on when I was still probably, I don't know, on the knife edge. I wasn't inverted yet, so I just did it when I could. But this maneuver, this happens really fast, and I didn't realize how fast I was going to come because all the recon that I did, I basically did it from the other side. And I should, that's a note for just in general, that when I'm doing recon flights, I need to do both sides of the show. And I need to think in terms of the maneuvers that I'm doing for the different sides of the show, because I didn't think about any of these. The inverted to inverted, the vertical pitch, the horizontal rolls, and they all are like this. So that was the first of those. I'm not sure what the solution to that altitude thing is. I guess it'd technically be a safety because it's below parameters, though we are cleared below 500 feet on the ingress, but it's just like, it's so freaking low up there. I mean, it's just scraping the treetops. There's a tree at the top of that thing,
Yeah, I know.
and it's probably like 50 feet tall, and like hopefully there's no birds up there and don't get any like birds up your engines. Anyway, the actual maneuver itself was fine. Nothing to report there.
All right, the Fortis. This is hard to get in for. I think I've given everything. We were outboard, yes, by like a quarter mile, but given all the nonsense that it takes to get in for this maneuver and the fact that there's no references whatsoever, I'd call this a pretty good success. I would like to be smoother on the turn, so that's just is practice, more or less. Once I got inverted, I had a pretty stable platform, and then made a good adjustment on the clear to get us pulled up and not hit the mountain. So my note is try and be smoother on the turn around the corner, and make sure that I actually add in enough power for that turn. Yeah.
Yeah, major notes here. A little overshoot on the rejoin. I'm not sure if I hit the jet. I have honestly no idea, but I think I was able to match your bank angle pretty well. It took me a little bit of time to get in because I was a little further back from you than I have been, and I did that on purpose because I was like, oh, I've been too close in the last couple times, but that I was too far back. It just took me a while to get into position. And then I had a big PIO moment, basically at center point, which looks awful. So it's big note for that. I have got to do better than that. And then the clears were okay. I was a little sucked again, and I think once I realized, oh yeah, we're gonna have to pull to get over this hill, it was like I was just a little bit behind the maneuver at that point, and so it was just hard to maintain a good formation. And also, in order to make that look right from the crowd, I think I need to think about some of the geometry of that, because the position that works when we do a flat-ish turn ain't gonna work going up the hill like that. So I'm not sure what the solution is just yet, but figure something out. Yeah, the major note is just that the PIO at center point was not good at all.
All right. Moving on to the MRT. Man, the jet feels weird here. It doesn't want to carry. It doesn't want to retain. It doesn't want to retain speed in the turn, but then it wants to pick up speed really quickly if you like do any sort of ease off. And then when I pulled to the vertical, it just like wanted to fly. So it's just weird. It's a weird one. I think I'm gonna try and bleed a little bit more speed. Probably try and get down to like 315 before I pull. Because I ended up quite a bit behind crowd with my angle. So also, I will take a safety here. I let the nose drop a lot in my initial turn, more than usual. So I had to adjust that mid-turn, and that's a safety because I need to be trying to do a level turn as described in the slide here. The clear itself was fine, and the smokes, I believe I did smoke on, smoke off. I don't remember. But anyway, I'll be interested to see the tape and find out.
Yeah, you did do smoke off. Smoke on. The major note for me here is that I was super early for some reason. I don't think I was going fast enough exiting the box, and so I wasn't far enough away from center point by the time I turned in to meet you, and so I was like within a mile when you started the maneuver, which is way too early because I'm just going straight. And so I was doing, I think by the time you did your pull and kick and calls, I was doing about 190 knots. I was just like hanging it at high alpha to try to not overspeed you, and I think I was still a little early.
Oh, that's crazy, dude.
What?
The jet barely bled any speed going up the hill for me. That's wild. Alright, sorry. Learning stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, and then the rest of it was all right. I think I could have probably, I don't know. Honestly, the way that clear worked, it actually worked okay. And I was kind of pointed more towards you like I had been last time because I was like, well, that worked. We'll just try it again. And it did. So, yeah, the major note is just like I was super early. So I got to like head outbound faster and then take that into account when I'm coming into the box because did not give myself a lot of margin.
Alright, opposing minimum radius turn. The inbound was great for this. I think this was the highlight of the show. We rolled out on heading, got the nose dipped a little bit and handed it over. You were right there. We were, side by side. We hit smoke off over the crowd, and I backed out the power. And at Kobaletti, it took forever to get behind you. Here, it takes like 2 seconds. So
Air's thick.
The air's real thick, and so I got to bring the power in earlier so I stay closer to you. I think it'll look fine from the crowd, but I was further from you than I have been previously. But I felt like the timing was decent. But we still ended up inboard, and the reason why is a safety that I will take, which is after we rolled and we pulled, I didn't do a full pull. I don't know why. Just like my brain didn't do it. And I realized halfway through the pull that I wasn't pulling hard enough, and I still didn't pull hard enough. I just couldn't convince my body to accomplish this task. So I ended up bringing power out. Which is why I got to the numbers so quickly and well. But also, my turn, if you look at the tac view, is going to be extremely wide. I'll take a safety for that, because that screws up the whole rest of the maneuver. But my clear was great. So, yeah. I'll fix my safety, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, looking at the tac view, and we're pretty even, actually, on the turn.
Huh.
Because I was listening to your speed calls and stuff. And then when you said outboard, then I just eased off a little bit and flew visually. So it actually is pretty even. And we cross, like, basically on center point. We're way inboard. And the separation is way too wide. Like, there's too much separation between the two of us. But our hit is almost on center point. It's just kind of bonkers. So notes for me. So I got in a beam that felt great. I was like, all right, we're gonna kick some ass. and then you called ready, hit it, and I yugged, and it felt like I over yugged, and then the nose felt like it dropped in the roll, and then I was trying to jockey with wing angle, bank angle coming around the corner, which meant that my speeds were all over the place. Finally got it settled. You were like on the numbers. I'm like, I'm basically on the numbers. Okay, fine. And then you were calling your speeds and doing different stuff. And so then I was able to kind of like moderate stuff. Because of DCS and some other things, there's like jaggy foresty mountains behind you or foresty hill. And so getting that sense of how close to get to you to make sure that we're like, my separation is good was not it was a challenge, and so I didn't do it very well, and I need to improve that for next time. And I remember that that's a factor, and also remember that like I can usually risk a little more than I have been in that department. Another major note there is that I think I just need to trust you more. And like when you say inboard, to not like go way inboard to like avoid possible like problems. Like I think I had this sort of like, oh, I don't know how inboard he's gonna go. So I sort of like gave myself some extra room, and then that I think contributed to the additional spacing for the cross, which was like 370 feet, and like I could do much better than that. I don't want to be inside and probably about 100, but like there's like 300 feet between 100 feet, 370 feet. So, fortunately, this show site is not a crowd violation, but it would have been at any other site. And then yeah, clears were okay. I don't think I had quite figured out the jet just yet. Anyway, yep. Those are the notes for that.
Posting horizontal rolls. It's really hard to get in for these because of the hills. And I was trying to fix some inbound speeds the whole time. But I think we got in and crossed at the right spot. And then, I don't know. I don't know why our altitude difference was so drastic. But the clear was fine for me at 7.5, so I don't know. All things considered, no notes.
Yeah, our hit looks good on the tac view. Let's see if we can figure out the speed differential. We're doing the same speed.
Oh, never mind. I have a huge note. What am I talking about? I called smoke off.
Right, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, I called
remember
smoke
that.
off, and so you probably chucked into burners as soon as I came on comm. At
That's
which
probably
point,
true.
then I called burner pull, and it was late. So yeah, hits right on center point. That's great. I don't know, dude. Our speeds
Looking
are
at the
more or less the
Tapir,
same.
it's the same.
So what
Yeah.
happened? Are you shallow? No. I'm just
You're
losing
burner.
speed compared to you, but we're both full burner. How does that work?
Maybe I pulled slightly less. What's your G? 6.4, 6.6, 6.3, 6.2. Now same G. I have no idea.
Whatever. DCS can have its pie, I guess.
That's
All right, I'll
okay.
call this a good maneuver then. No notes.
You pulled a lot harder over the top than I did apparently.
Oh.
My onset. Let's see. So yeah, I was like 4 Gs and you're like 5.5.
Well, there
That
you
shouldn't account. That shouldn't be 1,000 feet of separation though, should it?
go. I mean, that's 1.5 G difference. That's a big difference.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And considering the fact that.
I'm curious, like right at the onset of that pull.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, you really went for it.
Yeah.
Also, you pulled a little earlier than I did. I think it's close though. All right at the onset. Where's the onset? Roll and pull. Okay, so altitude AGL 7,000. You're 6.5 though.
Yeah, I'm already slow. Like, look at my Mach is lower.
I have calculated your speed, but yeah.
It's fine. Let's move on.
Yeah. It's just fascinating.
I know. I agree.
Anyway, yeah.
We have a whole
Alright,
other
cool,
tape
moving
to
on.
watch.
Yeah, that's true.
You haven't talked about it yet.
Oh, I mean, coming in for these things, like I mentioned with the inverted is really hard because it's like you got 1.5 miles before center point as you go feet wet. So it's just the setup happens really very fast. The rolls, I'm not going to give a whole lot of notes. I don't know why we were so separated. I felt like the maneuver wasn't. Again, it's not the cleanest I've ever done, and so similar to other things in this show. But other than that, like it was fine. I don't know why we were so separated, but the maneuver was fine.
Okay. Moving on. Also, hi, I am DJ and Forum JJ. If you guys are still here, I know it's been an hour, but hi. Sneak 2 vertical rolls. I almost died. I'll take a full safety on this one. Pretty sure I got I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna go look at the TAC view right now because I need to see how low I got. It was low. Let's see. How low did I get?
Oh, I got off. Hold on, I got an idea. Wait for it.
Oh my. Oh no.
You got 7 feet above the sea is what I saw.
Right there. That's it. Yeah. Less actually. About 4.
It's pretty low.
Yeah, that's too low.
Probably cooling off your turbines with seawater at that point.
Probably. But anyway, aside from that, the maneuver was fine. Just coming down over that hill and with the glassy way the water is, really hard.
Yep.
But yeah, no notes aside from almost dying and the safety that I will fix.
I guess the note was like, I was like, oh shoot, I'm going to be behind, but then I was on time, and then I was like, oh, actually, I'm going to be early. And so I pulled all of I went full idle at about 1 mile so that I wouldn't beat you to center point. And then, and then I was like, well, I don't know that I have enough juice to get back up the hill. And not like get too floppy. So then I tried to do the split throttle thing, and I threw the left throttle, but that's the wrong throttle. So then I switched them. So I think the hit was like probably a 1/4 mile outboard, and then things just sort of I don't know. The rest of the maneuver's fine. I cleared at a sort of funny angle, but this is a new show site, and I don't have my references inverted quite yet. But I did clear behind the crowd. It was just basically on the behind right clear heading.
Let's see. The line breast loop. Had too much speed going in, so I went up the hill at 1.2. Still ended up centering just left of center point. And winds aloft were blowing me back towards the crowd, but that was fine because I had adjusted. I just assumed, I don't know, I'd assumed that from the last show. And it blew me right over the boat. So, all things considered, this was a huge success. Moving on to the opposing 4-point. This one, your inbound speeds, when you called 4 miles at 150, if you go back and watch the tape, I say, I don't know what to do with that. So I just kind of made it up, and believe it or not, by the time we hit the 2-mile mark, I was on. But my brain was not in the ballpark anymore, and so my 4-point was very sloppy. But the clear was great. So the note is, if something like that happens, I need to stop thinking about it and just fly the maneuver if I'm on, and then think about it now at the debrief. So note is be better at mental, compartmentalization.
Yeah. So I apologize for that. I thought I was going to be really behind based on where you were in the loop and where I was doing my little outbound. And then I broke the box a little bit. I was like 5.3 by the time I hit this. I hit Showline. 5.3. You had just smoked off, so I was like, I'll just turn into center point. It'll be fine. We'll be there, and it'll be great. You called, let me know when you're a beam when I was at 4.5 miles, which was great, but I was still pointed towards center point. And I was pointing towards center point, and when I started pointing towards center point, you'd smoked out, but you still hadn't called chariot attached and the whole clear thing. It was taking longer than I anticipated, and so I was like, all right, boards, idle boards, let's just hang this sucker on the blades, basically stall it, because I was like, I've got 5,000 feet of altitude. If anything goes wrong, it's fine, and it'll pick up plenty of speed coming down the hill. So anyway, you called for and I was at 4.5, and then when you said you delayed your the standby market call just a little bit, I think because you were trying to get around the corner. But that meant that when you called standby market, I was at 4.1. And so it was 2 seconds later, I was at 4. And I was like, well, and I hadn't put any power in. It's well, I'm only doing 150 knots, so it probably gives him enough time if he comes around the corner to get. He's not at 4 yet, but it'll take me probably 1.5 times as long to get between 4 and 3 as it normally does. So maybe that'll kind of work out. So I told you what actually was going on. I considered lying because I was moderately confident that it would work out, but I was like, no, that's not fair. I need to tell him what's up and hope that he just sort of trusts me.
Thank you for that.
But the major note is that I just needed to be in the right place at the right place at the right time, and I wasn't. So, all the stuff that happened on the inbound and the speeds and whatnot is sort of incidental to the fact that a minute and a half to 3 minutes before that, I just wasn't in the right part of the sky. So that is the note I'll take for next time. It's big safety because it affects your ability to fly a very difficult maneuver under heavy G-forces in the real world. And so I'll take that safety and no other notes from the maneuver.
All right, vertical pitch. 50 was fun. I still like it, even though it's kind of hard to do. We crossed about 2 left. And then, I think the maneuver on my end was more or less by the numbers. I saw that, after you called that you were early and low, you were exactly where I expected you to be when I made contact, and so I brought in some extra power, came back down the hill quick, and we hit right where we crossed initially. So I think we actually made all the right adjustments. And so I would consider that a moderate level of success. Once again, I called smoke off on this clear. But yeah, so I'll take that safety for next time. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you debriefed most of the stuff I would have mentioned. Yeah, we did hit 3 left, and we did cross at 3 left. I was low and slow. I was 30 knots slower than you by the time we started up the hill. So I'm not exactly sure why that is, because I just was looking at the inbounds, and I was pegging 400 for the last little bit before all the knots start going up again. So I think the onset of my afterburners, or maybe my afterburner setting, is just not quite matching the amount of yours. So yeah, I guess the note would just be like maybe a little more burner.
All right. Yeah. I'll say it looks pretty decent on the tag view.
Like the Mickey Mouse maneuver.
Yep. All right. Inverted tuckover. So I put I put the crowd on the shore, and then realized like that it was the wrong spot, and so adjusted to it late. And then we got inverted, and like you just were nowhere near where the crowd was when I got inverted, and like I can't blame anyone really. I just like I have to fix that. And I'll take a safety because I got real stinking close to you before we crossed, before we rolled. I had to, yeah. It's gonna look like absolute dog trash when we watch this thing. It's gonna be nasty. Probably the worst inverted tuckover roll I have done in a hot minute. But it's nothing I can't fix. So I'll take my safeties like a man, and I'm glad to be here.
I did see that in my mirrors when I was like a little drive, and I just sort of like looked out of the corner of my right mirror, and I was like, oh, I'll just hold it, just do it, don't react. I think I don't know what to do about the crowd thing, because it's in a funny spot, and it's kind of hard to see because there's like a little bit of a point in between where we're coming in and where the crowd would probably be.
Yep.
And so we'll just have to kind of look at how that looks from the ground. You can kind of adjust based on what the tape looks like. I really don't have a lot of notes from this maneuver. I think the rollout was there was a slight bobble, but it wasn't as big as some of the ones I've done recently. And I feel like the lineup was pretty good. Most of my radio calls were good. I rolled out right on the 45. So no major notes for that maneuver. Again, going back to goals for the show. If I'd had a goal, I was worrying about this maneuver, and I did it all right. So.
All right, let's move on to the section after. I don't have any notes for this. Yeah. What?
The only note I have is that we were just long to get there.
Yeah. We weren't in.
We could have expedited that. I could have expedited that more.
Something I will say about the inverted tuckover roll. I have a question for you, which is, were you waiting for me to get in, or were you flying your own parameters?
I realized I was. But then what happened was I was about to fly my own parameters, and then I heard you say, "You've got 2."
Mm-hmm.
And in the time that you like the right on your was the 3.5 where I'd normally roll.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, well, I can't clobber him. He won't hear the roll call.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to wait for you to finish saying it. And by the time you were done, we were like 3.7. So no, I wasn't waiting for you to start with. I was like, oh, he's not in yet, whatever. And then I was like, literally, like my thumb was about to move. I did actually clobber the first part of your message, like, yep, block, and then I,
Yeah.
leb or whatever. Like I got the last little bit of it,
Okay.
and then I had to wait. Yeah,
So your goal is to turn in at 3.5?
that's my goal. But
Alright.
yeah,
I will. That'll help me not do that in the future.
yeah. Just for the maneuvers when I'm rejoining and you're gonna turn, if I'm not gonna if I know that I might or might not be in by the time I'm gonna get to the turn, I just say when I'm a ways back, you'll have, because I know that I'll be there within the first quarter of the turn, even if I'm not. Like that. That's for the Fortis.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
the
I keep
section
forgetting
rejoin.
about that. So
Yeah,
that's
because that's why I do that, is
Yep.
because I could tell you exactly when I get in, but it's like, well, you're gonna start saying all sorts of calls, and I'm never gonna have a chance to get a word in.
Yeah.
And so
That's yeah.
Oh, note for the Fortis, and then we can move on because the rest of this maneuver was fine.
The Fortis?
Yeah, going back to the Fortis.
Okay.
I need to. This is a note for me. I need to anticipate how fast you're going to be going and prepare for that better. Because I overshot just slightly in the rejoin, which I did mention earlier. It's a weird thing that happens though, because you were doing about 305-ish knots. I was doing 325 knots, scooting up to you. I was like, all right, that's fine. 20 knot overspeed, no problem. I did full cross controls, idle, everything. Didn't throw out the boards because I don't want to do the boards. I don't want the woogies. And I just scooted right on by you, and I still had to throw out the boards. So I gotta plan for that a little bit ahead of time.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Section high alpha, no major notes. I think it was a pretty good profile.
Yep. I would agree. I got some woogies in the middle of it, but it comes with the territory, man. All right, rejoin for the burn 270.
The ship too. That's sick.
Yeah, no, you nailed it, dude. It felt pretty decent.
Yeah. Right.
Rejoin for the burn 270. Honestly, all things considered, given the adversity of coming over that hill at a weird angle, this one felt pretty decent. My note would be just to be a little bit. I think so last couple of shows we've been coming out of that with a flipping head of steam, and I've had to do a lot of throttle to get us to a decent speed to take this turn. And I did not have to do that this time. Just a slight little throttle adjustment. And so all things considered, given the profile that we have to fly, I'll take it.
Yep. No, my rollout wasn't the smoothest, but it's just a constant work in progress for that.
Yep. All right. Next up would be the Delta roll. This one doesn't make sense to me. So we rolled out for this maneuver at 340 nose low, which I was expecting. We weren't gaining speed as fast as I thought, so I added a little bit more power in. Then we go up the hill, and we're doing 375. I have no idea where those 35 knots came from. So I had us go up the hill real slow, and then I had us roll real slow, to try and make sure that we didn't pile drive ourselves into the water. And we came out of that thing at 440 knots. At we leveled out at 2.5. So if you're wondering why the turn was so wonky, is because we just had a haul of knots, because I think we entered the maneuver high and finished low is what ended up happening. So we started the maneuver at 1200 and we finished at 400. So that loss of 1,000 is where all of our speed came from.
I mean, there is a hill behind crowd.
Yeah. So I need to enter that maneuver slower than 360, so that way we go over the top and we drop down into the bay. Either that we just do it flat, but I think it's cool to drop down into the bay, so I can make that happen. But I just didn't adjust for it this time, and that's why we were doing screaming knots coming out of that, and almost busted the box. We didn't bust the box. I made sure of it, but we got real close. So yeah, that's a safety. That puts us way out of parameters for the turn back for the fleur-de-lis, and the turn back for the fleur-de-lis was hot trash. So I will take that safety for next time, and I'm real glad that I'm still here.
Yeah. So I had like a little taste of that zen I had in the last two shows and flying form around the corner, setting up that thing. And I remember thinking to myself, which was probably my downfall, like, oh, maybe I've got this. And like the rollout, I kind of like caught it, sorta. It wasn't the smoothest thing, but I didn't climb over your wing. I didn't get any crazy PIO, and I was like, oh, maybe I've got this. All right, cool. And then because the onset of your pull was so much less than it was in previous ones, and the onset of the roll was so much less than it has been in the previous ones, I just lost it. And so it was just a matter of trying to stay in roughly the right position the whole time. So it probably isn't going to look too bad. And I didn't get any huge things, but there was a safety on the onset up the hill where I climbed over your wing, and then on the onset of the roll where I climbed over your wing just a little. And then it was just a matter of just trying to maintain as much as I could, and I got a little wide. So I did smoke off for that, and so there's a safety for that. So yeah, that'll be my notes for there.
Alright, on to the fleur-de-lis. Whoa. Hang on. On to the fleur-de-lis. The fleur-de-lis, all things so the circle around the back was awful. Just trying to fix everything, plus we have this gigantic hill, like, that we're dropping down over. So it was just nasty. It was kind of a boxy turn if you actually take a look at the trail for it. Like, it's just a little boxy. Not horribly boxy, but it's just a little boxy. But I got us online and relatively on altitude, which is insane. And then yeah, the rest of the rest of this part of the maneuver was fine. But the rejoin afterward, we're up on this hill, right? And so we're dropping down, and I just got us too low. So I couldn't ease the pull at all. Otherwise, we would have dropped into the ocean. So just had to keep the pull in, and we just went up the hill that way. And so that meant that we just like went super high and rolled over. And then decided to wait a while before we cleared for that. But all those things I can fix for next time. The dropping low is a safety problem, and I will definitely fix that one for next time.
Yeah, this is where my like string of safeties begins. So I got a little too close to your wing and thought I was going to conflict, so I went like well clear, like almost 80 feet clear on the turn, and then slowly worked my way back in, just to sort of like, all right, calm down, reestablish. And then once the shift had happened, I just couldn't figure out a position that I felt like was consistent and good. So I was sort of chasing you around, and so it looked sloppy. And then going up the hill, I wasn't quite in line with you, and I was a little high, and then I was a little low, and so that was not great. And then I was nose low on the rollout. I was giving what felt like a lot of stick deflection forward, but I just was descending a lot, so that's why you were so far above me. Yeah, and then the rejoin part, I mean, the things you were doing made it were kind of incidental to me. The big thing was just that because the jet performs very differently, I wasn't able to get stuck in quite as close as I would like. So I just was like, all right, I'll just live with this further out version. But it also meant that like once we came over the top, because we were so high and the air was so much thinner, the thing was doing stuff differently based on the throttle or the like control inputs, and so just is less clean and smooth and like tucked in as I would like it to be.
Yeah, I think we bottomed out at 200 knots over the top. We were going real slow.
We also get like, I got because I was pretty far below you. I was at about 100 feet before we started going up the hill.
Like I said, I couldn't ease anything because otherwise we'd be in the drink.
Yeah.
It's a very intentional decision to be like, well, we're just going to live with this amount of pole because.
Wow. That's an indicator of how much I trust you, because I A, didn't know that, and B, at the time, didn't even occur to me. I was just looking at your jet, and I was like, I'm a little low. It's fine. He's fine.
Alright. The loop break cross didn't happen, so I flew forward with you, and that's my notes.
Yeah, so here's another safety. Yeah, I set up I should have brought in more pull earlier in the turn. I thought we had more space than we did, but we didn't, and it was weird because I felt like I brought in a decent amount. Like we were on an outbound heading. We had plenty of space, plenty of time. Normally it's like, oh, this will be fine. And like when we got to the 90, I was like, oh man, we need a lot more pull. So I was trying to bring in more pull, and I still didn't quite get it. So then we were set up acute, and I considered correcting. Once we crossed over that hill, we were getting within about 2 miles. But I was like, boy, it's going to mean like correct left, roll out right, up the hill. Given how hard it's been for me in the last few maneuvers to try and fly formation, I was like, I don't want to do that to him. I don't feel like I've got this figured out. So it's like, maybe we just hold what we got. But as we were coming towards center point, I was like, well, we're going to be like a mile outboard. That's going to throw off all the numbers like crazy. So I was like, this is not recoverable at this point. So we're just gonna bag it. So big safety because I just like screwed up the inbound and had to cancel the maneuver. So I will definitely fix that setup problem for next time. I think my leading for the rest of that like behind the crowd maneuver was pretty good and pretty smooth. I tried to keep it very docile because you didn't know what I was gonna do, or like what my plan was, because we don't normally cancel that maneuver. And so the maneuver didn't happen, and so it's a big failure, but I do feel like I recovered okay and flew a decently smooth lead, which also put us dead on for the Delta breakout, which is what I'll talk about next. Yeah, no major notes for that. I think there's a little bit more inputs toward the last little bit of the maneuver than I would like to do, because I would like to make it a little bit more smooth so there's not like lots of things happening as we're rolling out to get set for that maneuver. But we were like bang on the heading, and at the right speed and at the right distance and everything, so felt good about that.
Yeah. I felt like the head-on was pretty good. I did have a big safety as we were coming left over the shoreline. You were coming left, coming further left, and then when you did comes the pull, I climbed over your wing, and I'm not sure. In order to prevent me from doing that in the future, can you explain what your controls inputs process is when you're leading those kinds of turns?
So what I do, I think based on what the actual guys do, this isn't right, but this is what I do, and I'm not gonna be able to change it in the middle of a show. So is I'll say come in left, or use usually a left-hand turn, come in left, and then I'll wait for the ADI thing to start to rotate, and then coming further left if I'm still putting a little bit more roll into it than whatever I had to start. And let it rotate. And then as the ADI starts to sag, as more drag gets on the aircraft, in order to keep the turn fairly level, then I say comes the pull. And usually there's a slight climb without any input on when you start the roll. And then when the ADI starts to sag back, then I try to catch on that horizon line comes the pull, and on the P is where I start to try to bring that pull in order to make the turn level if I can.
Okay. And do you continue to roll through the pull? Sorry, not through the pull, my bad. Do you continue to roll before you... do the P on pull?
If I've been rolling, it will continue to roll. I
Okay.
don't arrest the roll because you will know. You did this one time, and it really threw me off when I was flying wing. You'll know if I stop rolling, it'll look like my wing just comes right at you.
Uh huh.
One of the things I've also noticed from flying your wing, and I think this is just something that naturally happens, as lead brings in pull, he typically keeps rolling, and
Yeah.
like sometimes even increases the roll a little bit.
Yep.
And that's not. I don't do that intentionally. I don't think you do that intentionally. It's just something I've noticed
Yep.
when I've been flying off of you. It's like when you say comes the pull. Actually, it's less on the comes the pull because everybody's already kind of queued up for that. It's like a little more pull. Whenever you say that, I usually am bringing in a little more roll too because I'm like, all right, yeah, there's gonna be a little more roll in this too.
Yeah, I think that actually just is the nature of the closing radius. Because like I'm very, very conscious to not add more roll when I'm adding more pull because I've been chucked out from that before. So like, yeah, but yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, moving on to the parade pass. I still suck at leading this. I haven't figured out the distances yet. So yeah, I think this one was better than last time because I brought in enough power that we didn't fall out of the sky. But basically, I need to find a way to get us to roll out faster after that maneuver, but we just like never discussed it. So, basically after the smoke goes off, I'm just gonna roll us out fairly quickly. I'm gonna like ease the pull and roll out fairly quickly. So like once the smoke goes off, just like try to ease it out to well clear.
Sure.
Just so that way we don't keep doing this climb nonsense. Cause like at the Seattle show they dip down into the box and like they don't have problems, so I should be able to do it too. We also turned totally the wrong direction. We did a right-hand turn back for the pitch break to land. That was the wrong choice, and I'll continue talking about that when we get to the pitch break to land.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing. No safeties really. It's just like sloppy form flying. Like I was much smoother when we did the recon show on this Delta parade than on this one. And you did say let's ease it out at the end of the maneuver on the recon show, which actually was helpful because that was like, all right, now we're done with the maneuver, the smoke's off. We're not trying to be impressive anymore, and that can be a little clearer. And then when the rollout happened, it was easier to catch. If we just set the contract when smoke is off, that is the ease out moment. That works too, but we just have to decide that now.
Yeah, I think for that maneuver, yes, that is correct.
Cool.
When smoke goes off, just we're done being cool.
Yeah. But yeah, my form flying there's just a ton of PIO in this whole thing.
All right, the pitch break to land. I think all things considered, given the angle that I gave myself, it was pretty decent. The pitch up was fine. I ended up rolling out 040 and had to correct back to 050. And then 050 wasn't even right because it needs to be 10 degrees even further right, so I ended up turning a little earlier than expected, which ended up working out fine. And I had a little bit of wing wobble over the threshold, was able to arrest it, and I'll take that as a safety because I need to not be adjusting control surfaces that drastically, that short to final, and just accept a not center line landing, and just my pride will survive. And yeah, I'll take that safety and fix it for next time.
Yeah, I think just a continuation of the sloppy form flying from the Delta parade. I just wasn't able to stay quite in the way I wanted to, and then particularly once we got over the paint, I just fell away from you, and I didn't feel confident that I could put in the subtle enough input to get tucked back in right where I needed to be without getting into another PIO. So I just held it was probably 10 feet low, which doesn't feel good. So I'll work on that for next time. And as I'm looking at the shapes of the maneuvers for the the Delta Parade and then the landing, yeah, it's just you're doing it in a phone booth, and so based on the geometry, I would even maybe recommend going further behind the crowd before turning left for the Delta Parade, because that'll give you a shallower arc, because you actually don't want to tuck that arc too sharp to come to a behind crowd heading, because if you do that, then you have a really sharp corner to get pointed back toward the airfield.
Yeah, I
You
think
actually want to maintain a crowd left heading or some variation of that for a while, so you give yourself enough room to make that turn. Because based on what happened, you actually made the right call. I know you think you made the wrong call, and the only thing that would have fixed that more is actually to come further left to get more angles basically, and then come right, or wait longer. But you turned before we'd even crossed the runway
yes.
line, and so that's what made that whole turn hard. But I think the right turn was the right move, because if you turned left, it would have been a friggin' nightmare.
Yeah, I was also contesting with the fact that we were low fuel.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing is I think you made the right call on all counts, because if you turned left, it would have been a really hard maneuver to stay in on, and if you'd waited and set up a more smooth profile, we would have been really really low fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. I actually don't think the turn behind the crowd's the problem. I think the fact that I have too much pull and too much roll in for the Delta Parade. So there are two solutions to that. One is I can get better at the maneuver, and the second is we could just do a flat pass like they actually do at the shows. I think the parade's cooler, but
or you could kind of do it one of the things that they sometimes do is they'll get lined up, sort of like I do for the inverted tuckover, just a little bit behind crowd, pointed a little bit out, set up the flat pass, and then roll left slowly as you cross center point, so you get that nice plan form.
I mean, if we're going to do that, we're going to have to fly it more or less like the inverted tuckover, which is going to be hard on the left wing.
Okay.
I'm not saying we can't do it. I'm just saying.
Well, you're leading it. I have to live with whatever you lead.
I think we're going to keep trying to do
regardless.
a smooth turn, and we're just going to adjust the turn a little more before we head into the box.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. The taxi, it's uphill by 100 feet back to the terminal, so trying to get the taxi speeds right is really hard. But aside from that, all things considered, I think it was a fairly safe taxi home. Once again, was too close in 2-4. I think I need to take us a little bit further right, actually, before we make our turn back to the left and make our 45s. So I'll take that note for next time, and I'll fix my safeties. I'm glad to be here.
No notes for the taxi. Fix my safeties. I'm glad to be here.
Good God.
So it was going to be long.
It was. Let's get this over with. Slash, let's see whether my replay works.
Uh-huh.
It's looking hopeful. Mission load done, baby. Hey! Oh, okay. All right. Where do you even watch this?
The takeoff? That's a great question. I have no idea.
Like, historically, I've watched it from the apron, but we won't be able to see ourselves taxi then. So, I don't know. I'll just
Well, we don't taxi to the left, so you could just put us on the taxiway over there left of where we go.
That's a good point. But then, like, the trouble is the stinking tree field.
Not the whole. You don't have to go far left, just a little bit. So you're far enough forward to see it. But because if they don't use this taxiway at all, you know, maybe they'd even set us up spectators. They actually, realistically, if they did this show, which they wouldn't, they would probably put spectators in front of where they are, and then in this grassy spot.
Yep. And center point would just be indexed this direction. Tweet, tweet. Not nearly as cool as when the Blues actually do it, with the smoke on and smoke off. None of this was nearly as cool as the Blues actually do it.
Understatement of the century.
Oh, this was such a nasty show. Pretty good turn. I'll take it. Do you want me to do anything differently for that?
No, I was just behind.
Alright, so...
Like, you probably would have no problem doing that because you normally are the one who's chasing on that, but I do that so infrequently that I'm not good at it. So...
243. Yeah, so like...
246.
246 is what we want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Behind crowd is 056.
More or less there. We're in a tree. Just so that we can see what's going on behind the crowd. Theoretically, this is the furthest point that you could get to center point on the ground.
Where's the pier?
Way over there.
Huh.
So if we were to fly the pier, we'd have to adjust all the angles, which is a bad idea because there's a hill there.
I think we used to do that, and then we changed it because of that. I have a vague recollection. Yeah, is this nonsense? Whee!
Also, this means... this can't be right.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Also, you called 20 right or 20 left or whatever. So...
Boy.
Hold on. It's not right. 246 is like crowd right or something.
Well, then what's the angle I'm supposed to be at?
Is that right?
226, probably.
236.
Okay. 236. That I can do. The irony being, now there's a gigantic crane in my way.
You can move the crane, or move one way or the other of the crane, like, not a huge deal.
Alright.
You should have seen mine. Too bad. Oh yeah, note from that. I fumbled the button, so I called clear, but apparently it didn't go, and so I had to call it again to try and get you to roll it out. That's why that was slow.
All right, all right. All right, all right.
Okay, to be as high as I do it at. You're so far away from it.
Boogieing through this because it's late. What's crazy about being this far back from center point is, like, you see it.
Yeah. It's coming.
And bobble.
Yeah. Jeez.
Back with that one.
I thought I was high on this. Okay. We forgot that in the debrief. We're just gonna maintain that position. Doesn't look awful. The crowd. Just need to be better. Get good.
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. And then
I'm
you'll,
being spelled TEA.
yeah, you like sip your teas.
Because you know I'm a tea guy.
Yeah. I'm also a tea guy. actually not bad, yeah. Do you intentionally drift toward me? Okay, because it always looks like it overlaps. I'm not sure if you're trying to do that or not.
Let's get...
Made it work.
Who cares?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool seeing it this far back.
Reminds me of like all the water shows that I've been to: Chicago, Corpus, Seattle.
This is what it looks like. It's so far away.
Seattle. I wonder if Seattle's a stressful show for those guys because they have 360 degrees of visible. Like people are watching them from 360 degrees. So almost every show you have a crowd line, and that that's the direction. But for anybody, no one who actually gets to this point in our videos, but if you guys been to, Seattle is a unique Blue Angel show because you can watch it from 360 degrees. I can't think of another one where you can. You can watch it from a lot of different angles in San Francisco. And then if they do Point Magoo ever again, you can do it from that hill, which is freaking cool. You can look down at most of the show. Watch me double.
Here we go. Let's see whether or not the track view survives.
Pull up, pull up.
Almost blew off the string at the bottom of your channel. Burners going because I couldn't remember which one was.
Be closer to the crowd. For that.
Yeah, probably.
I should probably do it on the shoreline.
I was trying to find where the crowd was.
I'm pretty sure you just...
Yeah, maybe I should just do that.
Right home about. Pretty even loop. Four point.
Look at us live through that. You know, it is interesting though. Watching it from this distance makes me think that we might be too close to some of them, the other sites, or maybe we have the center point in the wrong spot. It should be further outboard, away from the runway.
Well, we should measure it then.
Because this feels more like what like when I go to an Blue Angel show, this is more what it looks like than what our typical viewing spot looks like.
Do it on the F10 menu and then just F11 and... I do a loop.
Pull up, pull up. Go left, go left.
Yeah, I definitely try to squat the jet in those little pop-ups behind the crowd. So maybe I should coordinate and do it a little smoother like you do.
You just...
I get it behind crowd, and then I pull to 10 degrees, and then level or do whatever I got to do at that point.
Alright, so where the camera is... so...
It's not bad, though. That is not bad.
So you said the end of the pier, and so I, like, finally found it.
Oh, buddy. See, that's not bad.
Yeah. The ones I've done, stop it!
As far as hiding the jet, there were a lot of other things. Yeah, no, and that, again, that looks like what it looks like when you see that clear. Yeah, I think we're watching them too close. Which actually just means based on where a lot of the viewing possible points are on a lot of the places we go, that we need to move the center point out.
Yep. Forward to that process.
Yeah. Roger, why are you such a punk? Leave Clementine alone.
It's a boy, man.
He is. He's in his teenage phase. He's like, full on like, I don't care, I'm too cool for this.
Yeah, you're right. This looks like we see it all the time. Felt like the jet didn't want to hang.
It didn't. It took me a long time to get it to kind of settle. I was doing a lot of like power adjustments.
Me too.
Well, yeah, if I'm doing it. You're doing way more. Like it's a pretty flat high alpha. So that's good. Thank you for waiting. I need to see if that was different than the last time. I thought about that actually as I said pull into 60 and then come and left, and I was like, what's he gonna do? Like, no, because you're staring at it. It's not like you're in some aerobatic maneuver.
Guts. The answer was, I cleared the trees by about 20 feet.
Yeah, I need to be a little wider in order to make that roll out smooth.
Like when I start saying ease the pole, just like start.
I just scooted. Well, so yeah, like the last couple of shows, I've scooted out at that point.
Yeah.
This time, for some reason, I
Yeah, just drop that nose. There he goes! Could have been a little lower than this.
Well, it was when you set up we go, and I was not ready for what.
But you neutralized it.
Kinda. Still far.
Doesn't look horrible. At like a month ago.
That's true. That's true. I've seen the light.
Yep.
I know what it's like.
Aw.
I want perfection out of it.
You would have been stoked with that a month ago.
Yeah. I was like, nah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna get back in.
We both were full on deteriorating at this point.
I think as much as anything, it was just mental fatigue.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Like right there. Normally, my mental game is pretty good, but I was just like getting grumpy and realizing I was grumpy. I felt like I gave so much for the stick. Not enough.
Time for a sketch.
Oh, dude, it looks awesome. Yeah, it was really hard to catch. Like, watch right here.
Wish you could see my facial expressions as I was doing this. I was wincing a lot during this maneuver. I was like, oh, don't overdo it! Well, I knew what we had to do, and I knew that I couldn't.
Uh-huh.
Funny. Maintainers won't be
No,
happy.
whenever you just keep it rolling because the setup was so bad. It's a bummer. It would have been cool to see this at this show site. I like how the backgrounds look and everything.
Me too. Oh man, you can't watch any of my form flying.
That's true. I was too low. Sorry.
Spent like 10 minutes in form, which was good practice. It was very helpful. Honestly, once we dropped the maneuver, I should have swapped back to. I should have swapped to. But you know, whatever. That's funny. This maneuver, the way you're doing this right now, is how they tend to do it in the actual show. This boss will get that far away, and then just like do a smooth turn in.
I didn't break the box on that.
Nope.
Well, yeah, boss can afford to do that because he clears directly down the show line. Nice. It's good. Like, apparently we're a little left of the show line. I
Apparently.
was dead on the heading. And then having flown wonderful form all night, I was like, let's go on the left side. It's true. Clearly the smoke on for longer too.
Well, realistically, we were like well over the shoreline by the time I smoked off. The trouble was is I needed to get us rolled out because we were climbing and like it was gonna be real bad.
Yeah. I think you're right.
All right. Who cares? Let's.
Take in
Film.
the. Yeah, if you get the lineup right, then you can go for longer with the smoke. Remember, we gotta do that whole nonsense over the. Me neither.
Just wait for it. There it is.
That was a pretty gnarly turn. And I just sank. I'm just down here now. Well, at least I came right. I'm supposed to. It's actually a pretty, like, straight up hike video, though.
Watch me get the woogies here. So I overshot. I'm grumpy about it. And I get over the fence line, I put some rudder in and some wing, and the thing just gets unstable.
Do you worry about those trees like I do?
No.
Okay, because I'm coming over those things and I'm like,
Oh, dude, I know I cleared them.
Yep, just barely. Roger, what are you doing? Causing mischief back there, I could tell.
Comes. Too far out. I thought for sure I was in close, but apparently not.
And trees.
Man, that's way further back there than you think.
Yeah.
Weird
I can't
noises.
hear it.
It's really funny.
So when I look at you is when my canopy was coming up on my stream.
Yep,
So you had the timing right, it's just it doesn't
I know.
track well.
I know. Alright, it's very late.
Just gonna say it as the end cap on this, and thanks for anybody that stuck with us. I didn't say it during the actual tape because I didn't want to jinx anything, but like this is again one of those shows where we feel like it's absolute hot flaming garbage, and it actually looks okay.
Yep.
And then there's other shows where I'm like, I nailed it, and it looks horrible.
Yep. Yep. No, I'm with you, dude.
Frustrating.
Like, honestly, it looked
Yeah.
pretty decent, except for, you know, a couple of things. And I think, as much as I don't like to fly the show site, it looks pretty good.
It does look good.
So that means we just have to grin and bear it, I guess.
Yep.
Alright. I'm gonna go sleep.
Sounds good, man.
Well, actually, hang on. I'm gonna stop the stream first because, you know, you should probably do that. Alright, folks. See you later.